She faked a baby. Let that sink in. Whole pregnancy doctors, ultrasounds, morning sickness, sympathy, post-soul, fabricated. So the question is, how far would you go to win a custody battle? Because according to Stevie J's legal team, Bambi didn't just cross a line, she bulldozed it in heels with lashes on and lies locked and loaded. And y'all, Lil Scrappy, he didn't just lose his cool, he lost everything. We're talking public meltdowns, courtroom collapses, paramedics rolling in like it's the Bet Awards gone bad. Now, imagine this. The judge flips through a file of receipts so incriminating, even Mona Scott had to pause production. Fake clinic. Visits, check. Stolen ultrasound pics. You bet. A forged doctor's note from a physician who's been retired since Obama's second term. Oh, it gets worse. Because not only did Bambi allegedly build this lie from scratch, but she rehearsed it, practiced it, posted it, sold it, and now the truth. It's kicking down the courtroom doors in designer boots, and it brought witnesses. So buckle up. It's because what started as a reality show plot twist just turned into a legal demolition, and we've got every juicy detail, every fake tear, and every ruined reputation right here. So let's talk about how this courtroom chaos turned into the greatest reality TV moment never meant for television. It all started when Bambi walked into court like she was auditioning for an Emmy, belly slightly cupped, tears dabbed just right, and a face painted with just enough drama to look tragic but not too broken. The girl had it down to a science, and for a while it worked. Scrappy stayed quiet. Stevie J kept his eyes low. Social media, eating it up. Bambi was suddenly the poor, pregnant woman caught in a legal war between bitter men. And she knew exactly how to weaponize that narrative. Sympathy flooded in. Fans reposted her IG story that said, "Doing this for my baby," and people cried with her without realizing the tears were rehearsed. But what nobody saw coming, not Scrappy, not even the judge, was Stevie J's legal team showing up with a nuclear briefcase of receipts that blew this whole soap opera wide open. See, when Stevie J's lawyer stood up, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. He simply handed the judge a sealed envelope and said, "We request this to be entered into evidence immediately." Boom. The energy in the room changed. Faster than a Love and Hip Hop reunion fight. Inside that folder, a full-blown investigation that made every lie Bambi told unravel like cheap lace. The clinic she claimed to visit for her higher-risk pregnancy, it's closed since 2020. The ultrasound photo, pulled straight from a pregnancy app and traced back to a Pinterest board from 2017. The doctor's signature on her medical file. To a man who'd been retired so long, he now teaches yoga in Costa Rica. And the email confirmations she submitted as proof of appointments, fake Gmail account, wrong date formats, spelling mistakes, screenshotted receipts with inspection timestamps edited out, rookie mistakes. But it didn't stop there. Stevie's team brought in a metadata analyst, yes, an actual tech specialist who tracked the source of the ultrasound image. Bambi posted 3 different online baby forums. 3. The same image with different captions on Mommy. It's blogs from 6 years ago. The moment the judge read that line out loud, you could hear gasps, pens dropping. Someone even choked on their coffee. Scrappy sat motionless, hands shaking, eyes darting to Bambi like he didn't recognize her. "Tell me this ain't true," he whispered, and y'all, the courtroom mic picked it up. Crystal clear, like it was scripted. The judge didn't blink. Just kept flipping page after page while Bambi's lawyer tried to object. The judge shut it all down with one line. "If this pregnancy was used to sway the court, it is absolutely relevant, period." That's when Scrappy stood up, slowly. His knees buckled like someone had unplugged his soul. And before anyone could catch him, he hit the ground hard. Silence, then screaming. Chaos, cameras flashing. Paramedics called in. Bambi stood frozen, like she never imagined the lie would fall this hard this fast. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Stevie J. He leaned back, arms crossed, face blank, But if you looked close enough, you could almost see the corner of his mouth twitch. Satisfaction, maybe? Or vindication? But the most brutal twist hadn't even hit yet. Because moments after Scrappy was wheeled out, the prosecution announced a new witness had just been added to the case. Guess who? Bambi's former assistant. The same girl who used to post captions for her, schedule her glam squad, and allegedly help her rehearse the fake pregnancy storyline. Now, when we say this assistant had tea, we mean she brought the whole kettle, the cups, and the sugar. According to anonymous court insiders, this woman had voice notes, emails, and even practice clips of Bambi learning how to cry believably for court. One file was allegedly labeled Stomach Hold Practice Take 3. Let that marinate. The assistant claimed she was involved in setting up fake doctor's visits, printing off counterfeit appointment letters, and even coordinating with someone at a print shop to forge medical records with official clinic watermarks. The woman was allegedly promised a cut of the legal victory until she got ghosted. That's when she flipped. And now she's testifying. Bambi's team tried to keep her off the stand, calling her disgruntled and unreliable. But the judge wasn't having it. It's because by that point, the evidence was stacking higher than Bambi's wig line. And just when it felt like it couldn't spiral any further, the judge asked a simple question. Has this assistant ever handled or submitted any legal documents on Ms. Bambi's behalf? It's the answer. Yes, multiple times. And that, folks, is when things got legal. We're talking perjury, document fraud, obstruction. The courtroom went from reality show chaos to felony-level fallout. Reporters outside were tripping over each other, trying to call it in. One even live-streamed a breakdown on the courthouse steps, shouting, "This is the biggest legal scandal we've seen since the Cardi and Nicki shoe incident." And inside, the air was thick. Bambi's lawyer was sweating. Her publicist was nowhere to be found. And her face, that stone-cold courtroom confidence, was starting to crack. And if her confidence cracked, it shattered the moment the courtroom. Doors opened again, and in walked a man in a dark navy suit carrying a folder stamped with the seal of the Atlanta District Attorney's Office. The judge raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. The bailiff met the man halfway and handed the folder directly to the bench. What followed next felt like a movie scene. The judge opened the folder, skimmed the contents, and let out a slow, deliberate breath before glancing toward Bambi. He didn't raise his voice, he didn't bang the gavel, he just spoke with a kind of calm that lets you know something irreversible is about to happen. "We now have cause to review the authenticity of all documentation submitted by Ms. Bambi in relation to her custody filings," he said. Bambi blinked like she didn't understand, but oh, she understood. The lie had finally detonated. From the gallery, whispers turned to murmurs, and murmurs turned into gasps. And as if on cue, Scrappy's attorney stood up and declared that they would be filing for immediate sole custody of the children, citing fraud, emotional distress, and deliberate manipulation of the court. Bambi didn't speak. She just sat there, pale, unmoving. Her lawyer reached for her arm, but she pulled away slowly, like even touch might break her further. But it wasn't over. Because that assistant, she hadn't even taken the stand yet. When she did, the entire room shifted again. Heels clicking, voice calm, eyes focused like she was delivering a monologue she had rehearsed 100 times in her head. "I helped her fake it," she said, as if confessing to sneaking candy into a movie theater. But this wasn't candy. This was court. This was life-changing. Life-changing. The assistant detailed everything. How Bambi had scripted text messages between herself and a non-existent doctor. How she bought a thermal printer off Amazon just to mimic the look of clinical paperwork. How she staged a fake phone call during a video meeting with her legal team, pretending to speak with her OB-GYN. She described how Bambi insisted on using Instagram lighting when taking a photo of the fake ultrasound, making sure it looked authentic but still flattering. And yes, she admitted to helping Bambi rehearse her courtroom tears. She would stand in front of the mirror and make herself cry using menthol, the assistant said. She'd say, "If I cry on the left side of my face, it makes people think I'm protecting something." The room went dead silent. Even the judge leaned back like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. The prosecution asked if she had any physical proof, and with a nod, the assistant handed over a flash drive. That flash drive, according to court sources, contained everything. Screenshots, drafts, audio files of Bambi coaching herself through testimony, even a clip titled "Final Cry Rehearsal." The prosecutor played a snippet on the courtroom monitor. Bambi, standing in a bathroom, eyes red, whispering, "You can do this? Just hold your stomach and think about how he left you." And that's when the mood in the courtroom changed. Sympathy turned to disgust. Respect turned to disbelief. And Bambi, for the first time, looked visibly afraid. Not shaken, not sad, afraid, because she realized what everyone else now knew. This wasn't just a scandal. This was a crime. The judge called for a 5-minute recess. Bambi didn't move. Scrappy's legal team huddled in a corner. Stevie J's lawyers smiled for the first time all day. And reporters rushed outside to update their breaking news alerts. When court resumed, things escalated fast. A representative from Child Protective Services was called to the stand. Calm, measured, professional, and lethal. Due to the nature of this case and the allegations presented, said, "We've opened a full investigation into Ms. Bambi's ability to provide a stable, truthful environment for her children." He went on to explain that CPS had already conducted a surprise home visit that morning after receiving a confidential tip. A tip that turned out to be from the assistant herself. During that visit, inconsistencies were noted in Bambi's household narratives, discrepancies in school records, and even a deleted search history recovered from a shared iPad that included terms like how to make fake ultrasound look real and printable doctor note pregnancy. At that point, the courtroom gallery erupted. Someone shouted, "This is insane." Another whispered she really Googled her downfall. He turned to Bambi's attorney and asked, "Would your client like to say anything before we proceed?" Her lawyer whispered something, but Bambi just shook her head. "You've been given every chance to come forward with the truth," the judge said, "and you've chosen performance over honesty." Then he picked up the manila folder from the DA's office and made it official. "In light of this new evidence and sworn testimony, we are submitting a motion to charge Ms. Bambi with obstruction of justice and perjury." Gasps again, louder this time. But it got worse. Because just before the judge could gavel the court into recess, the CPS representative stepped forward once more. "One last thing," he said. "We've received new information indicating this was not the first time. Ms. Bambi attempted to falsify medical records in a custody-related case. The room imploded. Reporters ran for the door. Cameras turned back on. Bambi's face went completely blank, like even she had forgotten how deep this rabbit hole went. And somewhere in the back row, a spectator whispered what everyone else was, thinking she really did all this, and thought no one would find out. But they did find out, and what they found next made everything else look like child's play. Just minutes after the courtroom fell into stunned silence, a clerk came rushing in, red-faced, clutching another folder like it was on fire. The judge took it calmly, adjusted his glasses, and then read something so damning, so unbelievable. He actually looked up and paused for a beat before speaking. "This document includes a verified voicemail recently submitted by a whistleblower close to Ms. Bambi," he said. Everyone in the room froze, waiting. In the recording, the judge continued, "Ms. Bambi is heard stating, 'If this fake baby thing works, I'll finally be free from Scrappy for good.'" The moment those words left his mouth, it was like someone had pulled the plug on every bit of air in the courtroom. People gasped. Someone audibly said, "Wow." Stevie J literally turned his head and grinned into the courtroom camera, like he was breaking the fourth wall on a reality show. Scrappy's lawyer didn't even need to speak. The DA stood up immediately and requested the judge issue a bench warrant for immediate arrest. And just like that, it was official. The judge ordered the bailiff to place Bambi under arrest. Handcuffs, no warnings. No questions, no more acting. Bambi didn't resist. She didn't scream. She didn't try to explain or cry or faint or argue. She just stood up slowly, eyes locked on the floor, and let the cold steel wrap around her wrists like a final curtain call. And outside, chaos. Media vans were double parked. Reporters were tripping over cables trying to be the first to get the footage. Fans were screaming, half in support, half in disgust. And the internet, forget it. Within minutes, #FakeBabyGate and #JusticeForScrappy were trending worldwide. TikTok exploded with reenactments, memes, edits of Scrappy fainting in slow motion, with sad violin music. Even Wendy Williams came out of retirement on her burner account just to tweet. Now that's how you implode a custody case. But the real fallout was just beginning, because the judge hadn't just arrested Bambi. He also granted full emergency custody to Scrappy and ordered an immediate forensic review of all documentation. Bambi had submitted to any court over the past 3 years. Emails, texts, medical records, even social media posts, all now considered evidence in a felony-level investigation. Her assistant, now cooperating with prosecutors, handed over an entire archive of content, scripts, notes, draft captions, even a Pinterest board titled Court Looks and Sympathy Styling. And yes, it had outfit ideas labeled crying, but fashion and powerful yet pitiful. You can't make this stuff up, but apparently Bambi did, and then some. Producers from Love and Hip Hop, meanwhile, were quietly panicking. Because suddenly they weren't just bystanders to a scandal. Court records revealed text threads between Bambi and one producer where she allegedly floated the fake pregnancy idea. Framing it as a narrative arc with emotional depth. The reply? That helps ratings? I ain't mad. And now that's evidence. Evidence. Subpoenas started flying. VH1's legal department went silent. Mona Scott Young hasn't issued a statement, but insiders say she's already cleared her calendar for depositions. Legal warfare. And while Bambi sat in a holding cell, stripped of glam, stripped of filters, just her and her consequences. Scrappy was discharged from the hospital and immediately driven to a secure location. No press, no statements. Just silence. The kind of silence that says he's processing something far deeper than betrayal. His family released a short message. We are relieved. Justice is unfolding. But this has been an emotionally traumatic experience. Please give Scrappy space to heal. But the healing won't be fast. Not after this. Not after knowing the woman he once loved orchestrated his scheme so bold, so calculated. She created an entire fictional life just to win a courtroom battle. The district attorney has already confirmed they are preparing additional charges: conspiracy to defraud the court, custody, interference, and obstruction. And that voicemail, if it's authenticated by forensic audio experts, it may trigger a federal wire fraud investigation. Because she didn't just fake a pregnancy, she manipulated government documents, weaponized motherhood, and fooled an entire legal system for months, all for control. All to finally be free, as she put it. Meanwhile, Stevie J posted a celebratory video, sipping champagne and quoting the judge's most savage line. You are no longer a reliable narrator of your own life. That, quote, already printed on t-shirts, already turned into viral audio, already immortalized in 1,000 remixes. One creator even dropped a track titled Reliable Narrator Bambi'S, and it hit 3 million views in a day. But here's the wildest twist. It might not be over. Sources inside the DA's office say there's chatter about investigating other cases involving fabricated evidence across the Love and Hip Hop franchise. Meaning, if this wasn't a one-off, producers or cast members were involved in manipulating court proceedings for storyline clout, this could go nuclear. Imagine if Bambi'S case cracks open a Pandora's box of reality TV fraud. Imagine if multiple cast members start flipping. Imagine if a whole season gets pulled from streaming because it's now legally compromised. That's not just ratings fallout. It's history. That's lawsuits. That's empire shaking. And it all started with a fake belly, a photoshopped ultrasound, and a woman who thought she could game the system. But the system fought back. The cameras were rolling. The lies caught up. And now Bambi'S reality is bars, not beauty lights. A holding cell, not a green room. And a story so insane, no scriptwriter would dare touch it, because this isn't fiction. This is real. And it just happened live. The lie that broke Atlanta. And guess what? The credits haven't even rolled. Yet, so now that the courtroom's gone quiet, the lies are out in the open. And Bambi'S walking in flats instead of heels. We gotta ask, how did it come to this? A fake pregnancy, forged documents, leaked voicemails, and a reality TV empire dangling by a thread. Was this all about love gone wrong? Or was it about power, revenge, and staying relevant at any cost? Should Bambi face serious prison time for manipulating the justice system? Did Scrappy deserve that level of betrayal? And let's not forget Stevie J. Is he the mastermind who played it smart? Or just another opportunist cashing in on the chaos? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading everything. You think VH1 knew? What was going down behind the scenes? Love and Hip Hop faced legal heat for staying silent? And if more cast members are exposed, how deep does this rabbit hole go? And turn on notifications because the next expose is already loading. This isn't just reality TV, this is reality weaponized. And the cameras are still rolling.